The Persistent Pursuit of Rumpler Number 16, Eddie Rickenbacker's Tale. Welcome to an in-depth exploration of one of World War I's most riveting aerial engagements. Today, we delve into the memoirs of Captain Eddie Rickenbacker, America's foremost flying ace, as we recount his relentless pursuit of the elusive Rumpler reconnaissance aircraft, designated Number 16. Edward Vernon Rickenbacker was a distinguished American fighter pilot during World War I. Born in 1890, he transitioned from a successful career as a race car driver to becoming the leading American ace with 26 confirmed victories. His experiences provide invaluable insights into early aerial warfare. The events unfold on June 4th and 5th, 1918, amidst the tumultuous atmosphere of the Western Front. The Allies and Central Powers were locked in a stalemate, with aerial reconnaissance playing a crucial role in gathering intelligence. The sectors near Pont-à-Mousson, Toul, and the Saint-Mihiel salient were hotspots for such activities. Lieutenant Reed Chambers, referred to as Lieutenant Smith in some accounts, was a trusted comrade of Rickenbacker. As a member of the 94th Aero Squadron, his reliability and tactical acumen made him an indispensable wingman during perilous missions over enemy lines. The first encounter, June 4th, 1918. On the morning of June 4th, Rickenbacker and Chambers embarked on a patrol in their Newport 28 fighters. Their mission, to intercept German reconnaissance aircraft attempting to photograph Allied positions. Operating near Pont-à-Mousson, they sought to thwart any enemy incursions. Within minutes of crossing the front lines, they observed two German aircraft approaching from Metz. Noting the enemy's altitude advantage, estimated at over 1,000 feet higher, they prudently turned back to gain altitude, recognizing that engagement from below would be tactically unsound. As they ascended, Rickenbacker noticed a proliferation of white shell bursts near Toul. These were American anti-aircraft rounds, indicating the presence of an enemy aircraft over Allied territory. Crucially, the intensity of the fire suggested no friendly aircraft were nearby, reducing the risk of fratricide. Eager to engage an enemy over friendly lines, where confirmation of a victory would be more straightforward and the chance of capturing the aircraft increased, they proceeded toward Toul. Rickenbacker harbored ambitions of downing an enemy plane within Allied territory, a feat yet unaccomplished in his tally of victories. The first engagement with Rumpler Number 16. As they approached, they identified the intruder, a German Rumpler reconnaissance plane, specifically Rumpler Number 16, distinguished by its large black numerals and an ornate orange rising sun insignia on its fuselage. The Rumpler CV-7 was renowned for its high-altitude performance and advanced camera equipment. Positioning himself directly in the sun to mask his approach, a classic tactic to exploit the enemy's blind spots, Rickenbacker maneuvered into an optimal attack position. With Chambers providing cover from above, he prepared for a decisive strike. At a mere 100 yards behind the Rumpler, Rickenbacker aligned his Vickers machine gun sights on the pilot's seat. However, upon pressing the trigger, his gun jammed after firing only a few rounds. This malfunction was catastrophic, as it not only prevented him from shooting down the enemy, but also alerted them to his presence. The German crew, now aware of the threat, initiated evasive maneuvers and turned back toward German lines. Rickenbacker, in a burst of frustration, pursued them aggressively while attempting to clear the jam, a risky endeavor that demanded both hands in an already perilous situation. Crossing into enemy airspace. In his zealous pursuit, Rickenbacker crossed over the front lines near Thiaucourt, inadvertently placing himself deep within enemy territory at a low altitude, approximately 1,000 feet, a dangerous position for any pilot due to the risk of ground fire and interception. As he attempted a renewed attack on the Rumpler, he was ambushed by two German Albatros DV fighters that had descended upon him from above, a classic bounce maneuver. The sky around him erupted with tracer rounds, and his aircraft was riddled with bullets. Executing a high-speed slipping turn, combining rudder and aileron inputs to rapidly change direction, Rickenbacker evaded the enemy fire. He utilized the Nieuport's superior agility to his advantage, dropping out of the attacker's line of sight and making a hasty retreat back toward Allied lines. Reflecting on tactical errors. In the aftermath, Rickenbacker critically assessed his actions. His focus on personal ambition and frustration over the gun jam had clouded his situational awareness, a lapse that nearly cost him his life. He acknowledged the cardinal rule he had violated: never become fixated on a single objective at the expense of overall vigilance. This episode reinforced the necessity of emotional discipline in combat aviation. Success depended not only on skill and courage, but also on the ability to remain composed under stress and to adhere strictly to tactical principles. Rickenbacker resolved to prioritize caution and methodical planning in future engagements. He recognized that overconfidence and impetuosity could lead to fatal consequences, a valuable lesson for any combat pilot. The second encounter, June 5th, 1918. On June 5th, determined to redeem himself, Rickenbacker sought to undertake another patrol. However, his own Nieuport was undergoing repairs due to issues with the machine gun, evidence of the mechanical unreliability that plagued aircraft of the era. Undeterred, he opted to fly Lieutenant Chambers's Nieuport, which, while serviceable, was unfamiliar to him, and equipped with twin Lewis machine guns mounted on the upper wing. These guns, though potentially offering increased firepower, had alignment issues and were known for being prone to jams. Ascending to patrol altitude, Rickenbacker climbed to 20,000 feet, testing the aircraft's performance ceiling and familiarizing himself with its handling characteristics. High-altitude operations added layers of complexity due to reduced engine performance and pilot hypoxia, a significant concern given the rudimentary oxygen systems of the time. Astonishingly, he spotted Rumpler number 16 once again, conducting reconnaissance over Allied territory. The coincidence was remarkable, offering a rare second chance to engage the same aircraft that had eluded him the previous day. The renewed engagement. Exercising newfound restraint, Rickenbacker shadowed the Rumpler from a distance, allowing it to venture deeper over Allied lines. His intent was to maximize the opportunity for a successful engagement and to potentially force the enemy to land within friendly territory if disabled. Executing a dive from the sun, he fired upon the Rumpler. However, the German pilot performed an unexpected maneuver, climbing sharply instead of diving away. This unanticipated action caused Rickenbacker to overshoot his target. Introduction of a new threat. To his surprise, the Rumpler was equipped with a downward-firing gun mounted in the belly, a significant tactical innovation. This allowed the observer to engage enemy fighters attacking from below, negating a common Allied attack strategy. Adding to his challenges, both of Rickenbacker's machine guns jammed during the attack. After managing to clear one, the other remained inoperative, severely limiting his offensive capability. Despite these setbacks, Rickenbacker engaged in an extended dogfight lasting approximately 40 minutes, a considerable duration given the high-intensity nature of air combat and the limited fuel and ammunition capacity of fighters. Tactical stalemate. The Rumpler crew demonstrated exceptional defensive skills. The observer's agility in alternating between the upper and lower guns effectively neutralized Rickenbacker's attacks. Both aircraft sustained minor damage, but neither gained a definitive advantage. The Rumpler CV-7 had a maximum speed of around 103 miles per hour and could operate effectively at high altitudes due to its Benz B4A engine. In contrast, the Nieuport 28, powered by a Gnome monosoupape rotary engine delivering 160 horsepower, had a higher top speed of approximately 122 miles per hour, but suffered from structural weaknesses and unreliable armament. Armament considerations. The twin Lewis guns on Chambers's Nieuport were known for jamming issues due to drum magazine limitations and synchronization challenges. The Vickers guns on Rickenbacker's own aircraft, though belt-fed, were also susceptible to malfunctions without meticulous maintenance. The Germans' implementation of a belly-mounted machine gun represented a significant advancement in defensive armament, challenging Allied pilots to adapt their attack strategies. This innovation highlighted the dynamic nature of aerial warfare and the constant search for tactical superiority. Importance of mechanical reliability. Rickenbacker's repeated gun malfunctions underscored the critical importance of equipment reliability. Mechanical failures not only jeopardized mission success, but also placed pilots in mortal danger. This emphasized the need for rigorous pre-flight inspections and ongoing technical improvements. As the Rumpler re-entered German airspace near St. Mihiel, Rickenbacker recognized the futility of further pursuit. Compounding his predicament, he realized his fuel reserves were nearly depleted, having been airborne for over 2.5 hours, exceeding the Nieuport's standard operational endurance. Engine failure and forced landing. His engine began to seize due to oil starvation, a common hazard when flying beyond prescribed limits. Executing a forced landing near Manila Tours, he adeptly navigated treacherous terrain, including fields strewn with barbed wire and shell craters, ultimately bringing the aircraft down without sustaining injury. Upon returning to his squadron, Rickenbacker was met with the grave news that Lieutenant Douglas Campbell, one of America's first flying aces, had been wounded in action. This somber development served as a stark reminder of the ever-present dangers faced by aviators and the fragile nature of life at the front. Strategic implications and legacy. The pursuit of Rumpler number 16 was a formative experience for Rickenbacker. It reinforced the necessity of adaptability, emotional regulation, and continuous tactical innovation, principles that would guide him in subsequent engagements. These encounters contributed to the evolving aerial combat doctrines of the time. They highlighted the importance of attacking from multiple vectors, the risks of prolonged engagements, and the critical role of intelligence in anticipating enemy capabilities. The technical challenges faced underscored the need for advancements in aircraft design, particularly in armament reliability and defensive capabilities. Both sides continued to iterate on aircraft technologies, accelerating the pace of innovation in aviation. Conclusion. Rickenbacker's narrative provides a nuanced understanding of World War I aerial combat, a domain where technological limitations, human factors, and tactical ingenuity intersected with profound consequences. The story of Rumpler number 16 resonates beyond its historical context. It exemplifies timeless lessons in perseverance, the importance of learning from failure, and the relentless pursuit of excellence amidst adversity. The courage and skill displayed by both Rickenbacker and the German crew reflect the broader valor of all World War I aviators. Their experiences paved the way for future generations and advanced the field of aviation immeasurably. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of Eddie Rickenbacker's most challenging aerial encounters. If you appreciate detailed historical analyses and wish to explore more stories from the annals of aviation history, please like this video, share it with fellow enthusiasts, and subscribe to our channel for future content.